Hey guys, hope you are well. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at rounding, which is things that we have learnt in earlier grades, but I'm going to make it super nice and easy. We're going to learn how to round to the nearest 10, 100, nearest 1,000, 100,000, 10,000, million, all of that. So let's say, for example, you have a number like 3, 4, 1, 6, 8, 7, okay? And let's say I tell you to round to the nearest 10. Now, some of you might not know which of these is the 10. That might confuse some of you. So I'm going to show you a really easy little trick that you can use. What you do is I want you to take this number and put it on top of this number, but start on the right hand side. So the 0 goes there and the 1 goes there. So wherever the 1 ends up, that is the tens. That will be the 10 column. So that'll be your tens. Okay. Now if I say round to the nearest 100, or let's say 1,000, then put the number at the top. So then it will be this one. Wherever the 1 ends up, that's where it will be. Now, what if I said round to the nearest 10,000? Well, if you write the number, then it would be that one, okay? And if I say to the nearest 100, then just put the number, then it would be that one. Okay, so and now I'm going to show you the little tricks that we can do. So here's our first example. It says round this number to the nearest 10. Okay, so you put a 0 and a 1, so that means it's this column over here, the 5. So that's the number that might change. What I want you to do now is so this number 5, there are only two things that could happen. It's either going to stay a 5, so it's either going to stay as it is, or it's going to go up to become a 6. So your final answer is either going to be like that. Anything to the right of it goes to 0. And don't worry, we're going to do a lot of examples in this lesson, so you will get the hang of this. Or it's going to stay as it is. Okay, so those are the two options. Either this is going to be the answer, or this is going to be the answer. Now, the way that you work out what the answer will be is you look at the number next to it on the right-hand side of it. And what is that number? It's a 4. So if that number is anything like 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then what you'll do is you will make no change. You will make no change to this number. So it will stay as it is. And if it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 9, then you will change it. Then you'll change it. So it will become this one over here. So there's a nice little saying. If it is 4 or less, let it rest. If it is 5 or more, let it soar. Now let me explain. So if the number is 4 or less, like I said over here, then you must make no change. So just let it rest. Leave it alone. Don't do anything with it. Let it rest, okay? Now, if it is 5 or more, then let it soar. Now, the word soar means to fly through the air, like to go up, okay? So then it would go, then this number would change to a 6. So what we do is we look at this 4 over here and look at that. It says, if it is 4 or less, let it rest. And so we're going to let this number rest. And so the final answer would be that one over there. But now that still might be a bit confusing. So let's do a few more examples. So here's our next example. So this one says round this number to the nearest 100. So which one is the 100? You don't even have to memorize that. You can just go 0, 0, 1. So it's this one. Okay, so that is the number that's maybe going to change. It's either going to go up by 1, so then your answer will become that, or it's going to stay as it is. It never goes down. It can either go up or it can stay as it is, okay? Now, how do we work out what's going to happen? Well, that's where we need to look at the number on the right. So we always look to the number on the right. And then with that number on the right, we use this over here. So if it is 4 or less, let it rest. They mean let this number rest. If it is 5 or more, so if this number is 5 or more, which it is, then let it soar. So that means this number is going to soar, so it's going to become bigger. And so we're going to end up with that one as our final answer. We've got lots of examples. So if you're still feeling a bit weird, don't worry. We're going to do a lot. Okay, so here they say round to the nearest 1,000. So we go 0, 0, 0, 1. So that's this column over here. So I'll highlight that number over there. So the final answers could be 7, 8, 5, 5, 0, 0, 0, or it could just stay as it is with a 4 and then 0, 0, 0. So now we need to look at the number on the right, which is this one over here. And it says that if it is 4 or less, so the number 2 is 4 or less, then let it rest. What that means is leave this number alone, let it stay the same, and so this is our final answer. Round to the nearest 10,000. Okay, so 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So that's the 6 over here. So we highlight the 6, and then we have two options. Either it's going to go up, or it's going to stay as it is. So now to find out what's going to happen, we use this, but we first need to look at the number on the right. So the number on the right is an 8. So that fits into this category. If it is 5 or more, let it soar. So let this number 6 go up, and so this will be our final answer, not this one. To the nearest 100,000. So you don't even have to know which of these numbers it is. All you do is just go put the number at the top. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, so it's that one there. Okay, so that's the 5. So I highlight the 5. So that means your final answers could be 4, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, or it could be 4, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So what we do then is we look at the number on the right, and it must always be the number immediately on the right. So that one over there. Okay, now that number is a 6. So if you look at these, it says if it is 5 or more, let it soar. So let it go up. And so the top one is the correct answer. Okay, here we have to round to the nearest whatever that is. So you just have to go 0. So there's how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so put 6 zeros. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then put a 1. Okay, so it's this column over here, the 6. So we highlight that one. So the final answer could either be increased it by 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it could stay the same. It never goes down. So what we do now is we look at the number on the right, and that number is 4 or less. So it says let it rest. What that means is leave it alone. So this was a 6, so leave it alone. It stays a 6. And so the final answer would be this one here at the bottom and not that one at the top.